everyone. Thank you very much for joining me once again this evening, guys. On today's topic, is Luis Diaz good enough? Is Ibu Konate good enough as well? We're going to talk about that right now. Yes, guys, welcome back to another Liverpool show. Appreciate everyone being here. On today's topics, we are going to be talking Konate and Luis Diaz mainly. I've got my fucking video on in the background. And then we'll be talking about who's got a rare YouTube on. Naughty boy. And then we're going to be talking about Liverpool's season so far, how well we've done this season so far. But joining me today, I have got K-Mac. How you doing, my man?
I'm good. How's everyone in the chat? How are you guys?
All good, man. All good. Been a while, but he's back. Fozzie, how you doing, man?
Big up the room, big up. Sorry, mate. My sound is not working out, but I'm trying my best at the moment.
You're sounding good for me, are you? Sounding good for me.
Okay. All good now.
All good. So, guys, how we all been? All good? Enjoying the season so far?
Of course, man. Of course. You know what I mean? Like, I remember, before the season started, we was like, all irate, like we was assigning the right players and all that stuff. I think that they've done good. The owners have done good, but you got to give them credit. Credit where it's due, innit?
Jesus, Fozzie gave the owners credit. Oh, man, words.
Wow. Wow. I've always gave the owners credit anyway, so you know where I stood. I'm just loving the substitutes. Like we actually have some.
We actually have a bench. Yeah, I know. Look, I've been talking about this for a while. I think big up Oscar. It's his birthday today. Big up
Happy birthday,
Oscar.
mate.
Happy birthday to you, Oscar. Happy birthday to you.
We're not going to sing. Sorry.
I'll sort you out. Oscar, you're always on the channel, so I can sort you out, my friend, with that. No problemo. Yeah, look. Last season, I'll go back to last season. I had my problems with everyone last season. Jurgen Klopp, Liverpool, the owners, everyone was crap. Everyone was cack last season. But this season, look, they got their act together. The owners, I think, and Jurgen Klopp probably had a summer where they're constantly talking and decided what path they got to go down to correct this. And I believe they've gone down the correct path. I know, obviously, everyone's going to talk about Jude Bellingham, but look, Jude Bellingham's a special player that, by the look of it, he chose Real Madrid. I think we have to get over that fact. But Liverpool, as Fozzie said, have built well this summer. I believe 124 million spent on Szoboszlai, Gravenberch and McAllister. I mean, Fozzie, that's great business, isn't it?
That's if someone said that to us in the beginning, before that, we're gonna sign these players for that much, you would have bitten the right hand off for that. And they just fit the system. They're brilliant players, you know what I mean? And the most impressive thing is, guys, if you look at it, they're young. Szoboszlai's 22, McAllister's 24, and then you got Gravenberch 21. So you could give them 8-9 years. They could be like dominating this team, and not only that, like the mistakes you made in the past, you could correct it with this team as well, guys. If you know what I mean. So we don't do that mistakes that we done with the players, previous players, like financially and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm looking forward to. I honestly think this team is better than 2 years ago. I don't know what you guys think, okay, Mac and Jamie. I think they're better than 2 years ago. Looking at the player profile that we got right now.
Yeah,
compared to the players we had before.
Look, I agree. I mean, if you look like that midfield of McAllister, Gravenberch, and Szoboszlai, K-Mac, you were speaking about the other day in my watch long. It's just totally different to what we had 12 months ago, isn't it?
Two things I will say. I really don't want to be keeping players for 8-9 years. Sorry, Fozzie. That's where
I know what you're saying, but I'm just trying to say, yeah.
We ended up in that
well, we do
situation
yes, you're 100% right, okay, Mac. Like, we do need a resale value eventually because we've let too many players go for free.
Yeah.
Yes, you're 100% right. Yeah.
And the next one is if Carlsberg did transfer windows, I think we got one.
Yeah, I mean,
obviously, we almost got Caicedo as well, which would have been a hell of a window.
Oh,
yeah, I mean, Caicedo would have finished it off, but
yeah.
Look, everyone's obviously talking about the number 6 position now. We did buy Wataru Endo in.
Who?
Yeah, exactly. Look, what I'm going to give Wataru. I think Klopp does rate Wataru Endo. I think he's doing the same thing he did with Fabinho.
Yes.
I remember when Fabinho made his debut and he's god awful. Do you remember?
Oh.
And I don't think we actually saw him again till November.
No, we didn't.
That season because he had to learn the way to play. So when I go, because I went back and watched Klopp's like when he had his match day preview and he's doing his press conference and all that, and the Wataru Endo subject come up. The man, I've never seen Klopp as happy for a transfer in my life. And you could tell he really wanted Wataru Endo, and the way he spoke about him, he wanted him 3 years ago, but the owners said no because he was 27. But Klopp fought to have him this year. And Klopp's obviously got a lot more say now. So he got his man. He obviously trusts him because he put him into I've won his Premier League debut when we went down to 10 men. I mean, he does obviously trust the guy, but Fozzie, do you think it is like maybe the Fabinho thing, and obviously he's not going to be as good as Fabinho was, but maybe you think it's maybe something to do with that where he's got to learn the English way, the Liverpool way, and the Jurgen Klopp way.
Yeah, I honestly think that a lot of people are like, saying he's not good enough. We wasted a lot of money on him and all that. But the thing is, he's Milner's replacement. He's not here to replace Fabinho. We haven't got the Fabinho replacement so far. So you got to look at his age, his profile. This is like around the same time we bought Milner as well. So the experience that he's offering is going to be key to the team as well. Especially if we're struggling in games, he could come and calm it down and all that stuff. But with him, I'll just give him time. Premier League is a difficult league, guys. It's not a league that's, going to give you... straight away you're going to be the best player in the world. It takes time for some players to become better. It's like you said, Jamie, Fabinho was one of the worst players when I saw him playing for Liverpool when he first came. I said, what the hell do we spend money like 40 million odd on Fabinho? And you look at him and think to yourself, is he really worth it? Like, he can't run, he can't defend. And then what did Klopp do? He made sure he sat on the bench, watched from the bench first of all, and then when he brought him on, he made sure Wijnaldum was his security. If you know what I mean, guys. Wijnaldum was like each time the ball goes past him, Wijnaldum would back him up. If you know what I mean, until he could trust him on his own eventually, and that's what happened with Fabinho. But with Endo, I'll just give him time. I think there's just, 9 games of the season and we're already judging him. Give him time, man. He will get better. I'm telling you. I've got that faith in him that he's going to improve, and then he's going to prove people wrong. We've said the same thing about Nunes last season. What did I say about Nunes last season, guys? I did say he'll come good. It's the basics of the game he's struggling with, and he did come good. And now, like, everybody wants Nunes to start games. So yeah, just give the guy time. If Klopp wants him to be part of the team, then I trust Klopp in that one.
And K-Mac, way I look at it as well is that I think Klopp learnt his lessons from last summer that he can't be caught short in midfield. So I think he's looking for the right DM that he wants.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a DM maybe that we want as a fan base. He's
No.
looking for something a little bit. I think he's looking for a number 6 is more of a player, more of a footballer. And that's why I think he's looking at this Andre from Fluminense. I think that's where he wants to go to. And maybe he was looking at Lavia as well. I don't think he was looking at Casado once. I think that was Billy Hogan, who was like, we should have him as our player.
Yeah,
That's
I
why
wanted him
that's
there.
why Klopp looked depressed when we. I've never seen Klopp look more depressed going for a transfer in my life when we was going for Casado. You know,
He
and
did look pissed.
because I don't think Casado was not that he ain't Liverpool quality. It's the you know, Klopp's always about the personality. You play for Liverpool because you just want to be at Liverpool and no other club in the world. And Casado looks like he wants to use teams as stepping stones to get where he wants, which ain't a problem to me. You know, players can do that for all they want, but you know, Klopp don't want that kind of player. And especially putting that much outlay on it, Klopp probably thought, if they're putting that much outlay on it, what have I got left? And I don't really want that player. So he's looking for the right number 6. He learned his lessons that he can't be caught short too much in midfield. I don't think he expected Henderson and Fabinho both to leave at the same time.
No.
And that happened. So he went and got a player in that he rates himself and he thinks he can replace that. He wanted that experience in the midfield. You know, now you look at it, you got McAllister, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, all brand new to the football club, all young. You've got Stefan Bajcetic is young. You've got Curtis Jones is still young. You got Harvey Elliott is still young, and you got Thiago as a hologram. So you got Klopp needed that something there. So I can understand why he went and got Wataru Endo and why he's in the squad. But this number 6 position, I don't think fans are going to be happy till we do something about it. But I come to you with this: is it?
Hopefully.
Is it this much? Is it that much of an issue right now? Is it that much of an issue right now? Because we lost to Tottenham when we really shouldn't have. We're 3 points behind the leaders with a brand new midfield. If you're Jurgen Klopp, is it that much of an issue right now?
I think at the end of the season it will be. I think at the end of the season it'll be the deciding factor of us winning the league or not winning the league, if I'm honest, because I've said it a million times. No dominating team in any league in the world that wins trophies and league titles doesn't have a DM. They just don't. And we can rattle off a million names. And I can just say Roy Keane and Rodri about 20 times. And you know, that's enough you need to know. Think about Endo as well. What I will say is that the guy came from Osaka, I think, in Japan, went to Saint Truin, which is like a Belgium mid-table team, and then to a relegation fighting team, Stuttgart in Germany. And now he's got to move to Liverpool. It's definitely going to take him time. And the thing what we've got to be happy about is we've got a player that's willing to just sit on the bench as well and come on and do a job when he needs to. And when he does a job, he will give you 120%. He will run himself to the ground in every game. And they're the type of players that you want at the club. They're the type of players that won us the league, because the likes of those players in the background, like your Origis and your Shakiris and those guys that did a job, even Nico Williams to a certain extent, you know, those guys that came in and just did a job and didn't complain and got on with it and then got put back on the bench again. They're the guys that really make a difference at the end of the year. And Endu's going to be one of those guys. He's going to be used for Europe. You know, he's going to come in and play in the European games, which is great. You know, if we get red cards, he'll come in, he'll do a job. He's already come on to 2 games when we've been 10 men, and we've won those games when he's been on the pitch. So he's an important player for me in that sense. But like you said, Klopp does want Andre, and he will go for Andre, and he will be the guy. But God, could you imagine if we had Caicedo, McAllister, and Dominic Szoboszlai in midfield? Sorry.
Even if we did, right? Even if we did have Caicedo in our midfield right now, would it be much difference points-wise the way we are in the league right now?
No, I don't think so.
This is what, and if you're Jurgen, and if you're Jurgen Klopp, and you're looking at this, because I've got to go through what he's thinking, because he's the manager, and us as fans, we're always going to think different to any
Yeah, of
man
course.
who's in charge of your football club, because we're the fans. We think differently, but they watch them day to day. And I think Klopp sees McAllister as a defensive player anyway, even if we get a number 6 in, because he's literally the only player that is playing this role in our midfield. You know,
Yeah, there's no one else. You're right. Yeah,
there is no one else. Klopp ain't looking at Szoboszlai, he's not looking at Gravenberch, he's not looking at Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, anyone else like that, because he must feel like McAllister has defensive abilities in his game to play that position. So under Jurgen Klopp, even if we get a number 6 in, like Andre, I still think McAllister is going to be the defensive option in that midfield with the more the more defensive-minded player. So I literally think he wants to play McAllister and a 6 as a double pivot, and McAllister has a bit more freedom than like he did at Brighton, like he does at Argentina, that sort of play. But he's still got that defensive-minded aspect to his game where he can defend a bit better than, say, a Gravenberch or a Szoboszlai in that double pivot. And then he's got Gravenberch and Szoboszlai, he's attacking 8s. And then you've got a subs bench of Stefan, Curtis, and Harvey as the youngsters that come on in games. Fozzie, I think that might be Klopp.
Yeah, no, listen,
vision at the moment.
you're saying a good thing there, because if you look at McAllister, like you said about the points, would they be any different? I don't think so. You know what I mean, come on, we got screwed over in a game when we was leading with 10 men. So the points could have been different. We could have been top of the league right now if things went right in that game. So with McAllister, what I like about him is he's improving in each game that he plays, guys. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Like, his passing ability is improving now. Like, what he added to his game with his defensive ability and his passing ability is the right passes going through for the strikers and the forward players. If you look at the game against who was it we played? The last game we played.
Everton.
Everton, sorry. Oh, I forgot about them already. Oh, rest in peace, Bill Kenwright, by the way. He died today.
Definitely.
Yeah,
R.I.P.
Yeah, if you look at the game, his passes was the crucial parts in our attacking. If you get what I'm saying, guys. So he's improved in that as well. So, but in regards to what you said, Jamie, if we're going to be looking at our number 6 after in the January transfer window, I'm not too sure now. Apart from maybe Andre, but I think McAllister will be playing there in the future as well, because he's improving each game that he plays, and he's more possession based, and that's what we want to be now, don't we, guys? We don't want to be, that type of team that's going to be 100 miles per hour and then make ourselves tired eventually. You know what I mean? So yeah, you're right about that, Jamie. I agree with that one. I can see that happening. I think he could be the one that's going to be playing that role in the future, and Gravenberch and Szoboszlai are going to be in either side of him. I thought Szoboszlai was fantastic. So Gravenberch was fantastic for about 50 minutes of the game in the last game against Everton. He just got tired at the end. So what I like about Gravenberch as well is, like, he's good at tight situations. We're too predictable sometimes. Like, when we just pass it back for the sake of passing, he just gets the ball and turns around and goes forward. So we've got three different midfielders in that midfield now, instead of like the same old midfielders, and which is going to make us compete for the title. I think we're going to compete this season the way we're playing. And with the attacking force we have, Gakpo's coming back eventually. I think we'll be brilliant. For the season.
Yeah, I mean, Gakpo's got to come back in this team as well. Yeah, there's a lot of the quality around the squad now. There's no doubt. But before we get on to the main subjects of Diaz and konate, I just want to mention the left back area. So, Tsimikas, who I don't think Klopp's ever really trusted. I believe he's never played 3 Premier League games in a row. After the Merseyside Derby,
and he won't.
No, that's wrong. After the Merseyside Derby, does it look like Klopp? I'd go Joe Gomez at left back, and the reason I'd go Joe Gomez at left back is because if Klopp wants to play Trent inverted alongside McAllister, you've literally got 3 centre backs on the pitch. When he's done it with Robbo struggled because picking up that centre back area is not to Robbo's strengths. He's a high energy fullback that gets up and down. That's what Robbo is. You're limiting his game when you play him as that left-sided centre back. If you put Joe Gomez at left back, Klopp can literally go to his box midfield, playing Trent inverted, play the 3 across the back. Talk about we want to play possession-based football. That's why we've gone this route. especially if we've got the teams we've got coming up.
Mm.
You can try it because you've got Forest, Luton away, and Brentford at home. I don't think there's a better chance, K-Mac, of Jurgen Klopp trying this out. Do you?
So the interesting thing about Tsimikas is right now, heart of hearts, is Robbo that much better than him? Because I don't think he is.
Robbo at his absolute best, yeah, but Robbo can't be at his absolute best.
Personally, I don't think they are that far apart in how they play, in what they do, in performance-wise. Like the thing about it is, everybody sees Robbo as Robbo's on fire, like, you know, just running like a madman, doing crazy things, putting in 110% every single game. Yeah, that sometimes clouds over the fact that he's not having a good game or he's not doing certain things, because we love effort.
Yes.
We love players busting a gut. You know, we loved Andy Carroll because he used to run at the goalkeeper a lot.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't do anything else, but we loved him for that. And we have to give him a bit more time, because I watched that game back as well, by the way, the Derby, and Tsimikas is having a good game, and then he does this tackle and he brings their player down. He gets a bollocking off Klopp and he gets a bollocking off Virgil van Dijk, and he goes into his shell, and then he doesn't put any more crosses in.
Yeah.
From then on, and that was just after he put in those two worldy crosses.
Yeah.
And we had big chances because of them. Like Jota had a chance and someone else had a chance. Salah had an
Can
effort.
I ask you a question, mate? Like, do you think the reason Tsimikas is playing the way he's playing is because of the confidence issue at the moment? You know, like, because he knows if he has a bad game, he'd be off for about 3 or 4
and that's
games.
what I also wanted to say as well, Fozzie, is this also comes down to Klopp not trusting his players enough. Because the reason why Robbo's probably been ran into the ground as much as he has, and is because he doesn't miss any games. He won't bring Tsimikas in for 5 games and give Robbo a rest. Like, Robbo's now going to get a rest. Like, his legs are going to get a rest. Like, his legs aren't injured. It's his shoulder. So he's actually going to get a proper rest. So we might see a refreshed Robbo, which we haven't seen in a long time, because he's been ran into the ground every single game, and Tsimikas isn't given any game time. But now he has. And the thing about that as well is, I don't think Tsimikas is going to lose too much confidence as well after that game, because he wasn't taken off for another left back. Like, if he'd been taken off and then Scanlon,
we needed a goal. Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was taken off tactically because it's a case of, look, they're on 10 men and we're literally in their half. Like, we don't need to defend. Like, we're just going to throw another striker on. So I think he needs a couple more games. And I think we could judge him then after like 5 games.
Yeah. Do you know what I think is with him too? I think Robbo's far better mentally than Tsimikas. I think he's mentally stronger than Tsimikas. Tsimikas does look like, if he makes a mistake, he does look like he goes in his shell a little bit.
But that's the thing about it. That's what Fozzie just said. Like, he's scared of getting dropped, because you make a mistake, you're out the Liverpool team. Like, Robbo kind of bulletproof, isn't he?
Yeah, Robbo came in from Moreno, though, right? And you know, Moreno was number 1 left back, and Robbo then got his chance because of injury, and he just took it. And
same thing with Trent as well.
And they just took it. I look at Tsimikas at his absolute best and Robbo at his absolute best. I think Robbo's a better left back. Yeah. The difference between
by a long way.
Yeah.
But he hasn't been at his best for a long time.
If you talk about Robbo over the last 18 months, it's a different kettle of fish.
Mm-hmm.
I always said Robbo's starting to give me Fabinho vibes, where his legs are starting to go, and he's not the player he used to be, because the amount of work he's got through under Jurgen Klopp is immense, and he was never rotated like Fabinho, and you know, he just got out there. And I think Robbo is suffering from that. So this injury that he's got, he might be able to rest up, and we might see a better Robbo come back. But look, Robbo's going to be 30, I believe. Liverpool got to start looking at a left back in a way.
Yeah.
You know, in the summer, I expect Liverpool to go shopping for a left back. I think Simic has to leave, and then the new left back you get in fights with Robbo for #1 spot. Robbo, I said it for a while now. It's not Simicast we need to replace. It's Robbo we need to replace. Robbo needs to be the #2 left back coming up soon for a more energetic left back that can do what Klopp wants him to do.
It's sad to say that, Jabe, isn't it? It's sad, K-Mac. Like, it's really sad to say that, considering what he done for us in the past. You know what I mean? But if you look at his performances, it's just going down. It's not even going up. It's just going down each time you watch him. There's no more crosses getting into the box. His defensive side is suspect sometimes, and like he was one of the leaders on the pitch that will drive us forward, and you don't really see that much of it anymore, which is sad.
Between you see mistakes, that you see goal scoring mistakes games off Robbo now, and that's sad.
I think he's just tiring. I think this rest all doing good. Can
I just say something as well? Can I just say something as well on the Robbo thing? Is I totally get where you're coming from about the fact that we do need to look at replacing him, but are we going to replace him with a more centre back orientated left back? If that makes sense. Because if Trent is going to keep on doing this inverted, which I hate, and we're not going to talk about it in this show, then are we going to get a centre back who can play left back? Because we've got one sat there in Kwanzaa. He can do that job.
Yeah, you got Kwanzaa there, or he's just going to go for. If Jurgen Klopp wants to be Liverpool to be more possession-based, build out from the back, save energy, and he's getting this new midfield of guys like Gravenberch and Szoboszlai, and now Gravenberch is your ball carrier midfielder who can score goals, and Szoboszlai is your box-to-box midfielder who can create, and McAllister is your tempo player, right? That's a great contrast you got in that midfield. They're all young, but they're completely different to Henderson, Fabinho, Wijnaldum back in the day. So do you actually need the marauding fullbacks like we used to have now? Can you go and get a left back just more defensively sound? Yeah. It doesn't need to be that marauding left back like Robbo was. Maybe that's why he's looking at Trent now. Trent inverts now, but he doesn't invert into midfield. He goes third centre back. He goes in between Konate and Van Dijk, and they split, and he sits in between. He becomes that controller. He plays that controlling game. So
have you noticed we're not wide? We're not a wide team anymore.
No,
there's no crosses coming in.
We're all squished in.
No, we play through the middle. No doubt. He would have been perfect, man. But on a midfield rebuild when he's 90 million, it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one. I think Liverpool will
need him.
No, they
didn't even need him.
They bought him for the sake of having him, didn't they?
They didn't even need the guy.
Right, let's talk about Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz, as the copy said it yesterday, the most marmite footballer Liverpool got at the moment. I've had
some interesting stats on him, mate.
I've had my say on Diaz. Right, I had it the other day, yesterday, and I think everyone in the chat understood what I was trying to say about the Diaz sort of thing. And Diaz is going to be 27 soon. Diaz is not young. And this whole thing about my thing today, can Diaz be world class? Because he's not world class.
No.
Let's get that right. Diaz is not world class.
He's never been world class, by the way.
No.
Never.
And he's going to be 27 I think he's 26 at the moment, ain't he?
Yeah.
So he's going to be 27 quite soon. That is, he doesn't do it. I'm going to share something on the screen, right? I've got something on the screen I'm going to put up.
Fozzie, you go first on this as well, mate, because
listen, I'll say my piece about him.
Right, let me play this. This is Diaz in 2022.
26.
This is 2022 Diaz. I might get copyright for this, but fuck it.
Turn the rhythm up, don't you want?
Or will if I play the music.
Jesus, music.
Right. So this is 2022 Diaz when we first got. This is Luis Diaz before the knee injury.
Yeah.
This not the Luis Diaz we have right now.
Nope.
So this Luis Diaz was different. Look at the pace, look at the agility, tight areas. Like this Luis Diaz, guys.
Great clips.
This Luis Diaz is so different, yeah? So different to the Luis Diaz we got right now. I mean, it's just. I mean, look at the trickery, the feet.
Oh, what a finish!
And this is when we first signed him. This Luis Diaz was special.
Confidence at its best, that is.
Yeah, but look how much quicker he was back here.
Yeah.
Look at the agility, look at the athleticism, look at the twisting and turning. Now, that Luis Diaz right now, for me, doesn't exist.
No.
And I think the reason it doesn't exist is because of the knee injury. I've always put a caveat on this. When you have an injury that bad to your knee, you're so scared. Look, you see how good he was at twisting and turning in tight spaces back then, keeping the ball. Will we ever get that Luis Diaz back, Fozzie?
Mate, what I don't know if you guys see what I was saying. Like, what does he do other than like getting the odd goal here and there? Like, what does you watch him in the whole game? You don't see anything. He doesn't defend for the team. He has got no relationship with the left back either. And where's his dribbling gone? Like each time I'm seeing him trying to dribble past the player, the ball is already intercepted. The defense already like read him before he even like tries to get past him. So I'm looking at Diaz. I think, you know what, Jamie, you know, with the knee injuries, like we talked about Van Dijk in the past as well. I think that knee injury might have hampered his career, man. I don't think he's gonna get any better. In January, he'll be 27. So what are we gonna look at? Are we gonna see the same type of Diaz that we're watching now, or are we gonna see improvement to that Diaz we're watching now? Because I can't see anything else other than the way he's playing. Because he's been back for a while now, Jamie, and came back, but he hasn't shown me anything that's gonna show me like in the near future he's gonna get better. He hasn't showed me anything at all. And I ask myself that question a lot of times, like, what does he do apart from getting goals now and again? I'm worried now. I'm really worried. Like you just said, like he's getting older, and has that knee injury really destroyed his career? And it could be likely it has. And luckily we've got Gakpo that can play on the left. Maybe we might have to play Gakpo on the left now. Maybe this is what we've got to do. I mean, and then and you know, rest Diaz for a bit and then let him see from the sidelines like what he has to do next in his career. Because if he can't outpace players anymore and he can't dribble past players anymore, and he can't even defend properly either, what can he offer apart from goals now and again?
And I think we all rate Diaz as a footballer. Yeah,
that is he was a good player.
And this is what we're saying. Like no one here is saying Diaz is cat, right? But I was watching copies last night. I've been watching other Liverpool channels as well, where you know there's a lot of Diaz love, and rightly so. Diaz is a fantastic player. No one's saying he ain't. And a lot of people are saying about stats because we have Mane. We shouldn't compare the two, right? And that may be fair because Mane is arguably the best left winger in the world.
Jamie,
when he's at Liverpool,
Jamie, like you know when Mane had a bad game, he offered something else. What does Diaz offer when he has a bad game? That's the question.
And a lot of people were saying this, by the way, before he had his injury.
Yeah.
And they were getting annoyed a little bit with him. I look at it and go, with Diaz, I look at it and go, right, so people talk about stats, you know, it's not just about GA, you know, goals and assists with Liverpool. Like, people were too fussy on goals and assists with Liverpool. The fact of the matter is, the way we are set up to play under Jurgen Klopp, our wingers do have to have GA. That is the whole point of the way they're set up. Goals and assists really matter for Liverpool under the way Jurgen Klopp plays because that's where the goals are coming from. You know, assists and goals, Salah, Gakpo, Klopp wants them all in double figures because he thinks they got the ability to all be in double figures for GA every single season. And so it is important. Look at Man City right now. Pep had enough of Jack Grealish because he weren't getting the GA needed to be effective as a left winger for Man City. So he went and got Jeremy Doku, who now plays all the time, and he's far more effective as a left winger for Manchester City this season than Jack Grealish was last season, in my opinion. You know, I've always said it. We play. It's 2023. If you play a 4-3-3 and an attacking side, wingers are forwards now. Yeah. They're not. Everyone keeps going like your Beckhams and your Giggs and players like that. They were right and left-sided midfielders. They weren't wingers. They're right and left-sided midfielders.
Mm-hmm.
These are wingers. These are inside forwards. These are attacking players. And if you play in a team like Liverpool that are set up to attack and score goals and score lots, then your Salahs and your Diaz's and your Gakpos, your Jotas, they've got to contribute in goals and assists. They just do.
Exactly.
Go on, K-Mac. I know you've probably got.
Yeah, I've just been quietly sat there. I'm not having the Jack Grealish thing now. They wouldn't have won the treble without him. Sorry.
I don't know. I
We're
think
not going to get into that debate.
I think if Foden played left wing, they would have still won the treble, in my opinion.
I think Foden's going to be the next Kevin De Bruyne for them anyway, but
Yeah.
that's another story, isn't it? Okay, so what you're saying is spot on. In a Klopp team, in the past, by the way, maybe not moving forward, but in the past, they have to score the goals because the midfielders weren't, because they weren't there to score goals. Okay, so you had your forwards and your left winger and your right winger, or your right attacker or your left attacker. Yeah, they're there to score the goals. Okay, since we've got Diaz, 39 games, 10 goals, 5 assists. Okay, 85 shots in total, 25 on target. Okay, so his shot ratio compared to his shots on target ratio is pretty low. And the problem with Diaz is when we signed him, we signed him when he was 24 from Porto. He had 18 games, 14 goals, 4 assists. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He brought that form into Liverpool halfway through the season, and then had 13 games, 4 goals, 3 assists. He then had a poor second season, 17 games, 4 goals, 2 assists. The season after that, 9 goals, 2 assists this season. He's basically took the poor form that we had that year when he came back into his game, and he's slow, and I mean, look, when we got him, he's a street baller.
Yes,
he's a street baller. Like, same with Nunes. Look at the difference. Look at the difference in Nunes and Diaz now. They are functional players now. They've been coached into how to play in the team.
Yeah.
Like, they're not playing like they used to play in their old teams, when it was just like juggle the ball, like take on as many players as you can. Like, you're my guy. Like, you're the guy who's going to score the wonder goals. You're the guy that's going to drive the team forward, because they were the Colombians or the Uruguayans in their team. We've got like lots of different types of players that can all do that stuff, but we don't want players that are like that. And I said that last year on your show with you. I was worried Klopp was going to take the flair and the street baller out of Nunes and Diaz, and he has. Like, he's trying to make Nunes into a bloody into a Firmino now.
I will say with Darwin,
though. Back.
I will say with Darwin, though. I do think with Darwin, he's made him a better footballer. But with the Diaz thing, you might be right. But look, this is my thing. I don't hate Diaz. The people in the chat,
nobody does.
I think Diaz can be. I think Diaz had the potential to be a world-class left winger. It depends what you want Diaz to be. What everyone's perception is of Luis Diaz is. What do you think Luis Diaz is a footballer? Now, our attackers and wingers are bought to score goals and create goals, right? Under Jurgen Klopp. That is what they're there to do. For me, Luis Diaz could be an excellent creative winger. Luis Diaz can play 4-4-2 because Luis Diaz can play a little bit deeper. He can play that left-sided midfield area in a 4-4-2. Luis Diaz would be fantastic because he'll cause a lot of trouble. He'll be up and down the wing. He'll take men on, get crosses in, stuff like that. And you wouldn't have to worry about his stats so much.
He's not taking men on anymore, by the way.
K-Mac, do you remember a game like he took someone on and left him?
And you ain't got to worry about the stats so much. Yeah, that was it. And you ain't got to worry about the stats so much if Diaz is playing 4-4-2 because he's doing a different job in a 4-4-2, right? So you don't have to worry about his stats as much. But if you're playing as a 4-3-3 and you're playing right up top alongside your Darwins and your Mo Salah and there to be creative and score, then unfortunately stats will matter. Stats will matter. Now, I don't expect him to get 20 goals a season like Mane or anything like that because he's nowhere near as good as a footballer as Sadio Mane.
No way.
But I still expect Luis Diaz to get 10 Premier League goals a season and over 10 assists a season because he has that ability. Now,
when we signed him, when we signed him, 18 games, 14 goals, 4 assists. We thought we were going to get another Mane. We really did. It's hard to not see that. And what I want to touch on as well is when we signed Jota, and I will bring Jota into this because Jota plays the same position, by the way. When we signed Jota, his first season at Wolves, 44 games, 17 goals. Second season, 33 games, 9 goals. Third season, 34 games, 7 goals. And then we signed him, 19 games, 9 goals. We got a Mane. Then the second season we had him, 35 games, 15 goals. 22 goals, 22 games, 7 goals. 8 games, 2 goals. Like, we have got our Mane replacement in Jota on that left.
He's better.
Side.
Jota is better when he plays on the left. I can't do the centre anymore, man. I'm being serious with Jota.
I get that. We want to play Jota down the centre. But Jota really does perform on the left.
Yeah. The second half showed it. The second half showed it.
I was talking about yesterday. I think came out in the chat.
84 games, 33 goals. Jota for Liverpool.
He's better on the left wing.
185 shots on goal, 73 on target. Like, seriously, Jota is a machine.
Do you know why Jota's better on the left wing? Because against Everton, I noticed that Jota went back to doing his dribbling, where he was going past people.
Yes,
he got a penalty. He should have got a penalty, by the way. That was a penalty.
He was dribbling, flying past people, and it's not with pace either. He's just very good at it, and he's better at that when he comes off the left and cuts inside. Now Jota's like a Mane, where he's not just going to stay; he's going to cut inside and just aim for goal. He's just going to run towards the goal, as much as he can, and that's what Jota does. That's the same sort of way he plays. When you play Jota through the middle, he gets a bit isolated at times because he's 5'7".
And he hasn't got the best touch in the world either.
No, but you put him out on the left where he can link up and move inside. That's a different Jota. And my thing with Luis Diaz, I love Luis Diaz. I've already said it on my channel so many times. Liverpool's best front three is Diaz, Darwin Núñez, and Mo Salah, in my opinion, because they all give you something different. But I think we've just got to change our perception of what Diaz is as a player.
Jamie, do you K-Mac think like we just need to take him off the firing line at the moment? Just put him on the bench for a bit, Diaz that is, and just play Gakpo or Jota on the left for now, like Jamie and K-Mac.
Well, everyone thinks Diaz was man of the match against Everton, so he ain't getting dropped.
Wow. Can I throw a spanner into the works as well? Gakpo.
Yeah, he's not really ever played left wing for Liverpool yet, has he?
28 games for Liverpool, 9 goals.
Look at that.
That's better than Diaz straight away now, stats wise. And he is a performer. Like 23 games. Okay, so started. I'll give you his stats from when he was 20 years old. 25 games, 7 goals. 23 games, 7 goals. 27 games, 12 goals. When he's 23, 14 games, 9 goals. First season, 21 games, 7 goals. He's another Mane replacement, stats-wise.
Yeah.
He can do exactly what Mane and Jota can do down that side. I said it last year, and people were slating me in the chat. I would have took a Saudi bid for him. I would have sold him for like 60, 70 million. I really would have. Well, and there ain't no smoke without fire. I think they'll come back for him.
Let me get to Angel's comment here. So when I'm not complaining about him, Angel, in any kind of way, right? I'm not actually complaining about him. That's why I'm talking about what is our upset. What do we think Luis Diaz is as a player? Is he a creative footballer that's going to bag you goals and assists, or is he just a left winger, i.e., like a Jack Grealish, who's busy, occupies players, takes players on, and makes space for others? What is Luis Diaz to this Liverpool team? Because look, I said it the other day in the Merseyside Derby. Luis Diaz got a 39-year-old who don't play right back at right back sent off.
Goodness gracious
which
me.
Luis Diaz, as a good winger, should do. In my watch along when Ashley Young got booked, I said, right, Diaz, all you got to do now is keep running at him because he will make a foul because he's 39 years of age and he's not a right back playing right back. So keep running at him constantly. Give Diaz the ball, keep running at him and get him sent off. It's good wing play, right? It's good wing play. The cross into the box that got the penalty, again, I expect an everyday winger to get to the bar line and cross the ball. So it's decent wing play. But we all are frosting over the two glaring moments that Luis Diaz had in the game. That was the counter-attack pass that we had on. We have 4 Liverpool players, Mo Salah and Gravenberch, running through the middle. There was only one Everton defender. Diaz had the ball,
pass to Salah,
going that pass, and he passed it to the Everton defender.
Underhit it.
Yeah.
And Nunes came on and did the same. Well, it was the same position and done better. And then better, yeah.
And then when he was put through, and he took so long to turn to shoot at goal, like I think Tarkowski got in and blocked the shot.
Yeah.
So the two things he did were very good wing play, getting a right back sent off and crossing a ball. I expect all wingers to do that, right? But the two things in the game, when it was still 0-0, that really do count, them two things, every Liverpool content creator is glossing over it.
Yeah.
And I don't get why. Don't gloss over it. So we got to come to a thing. What is Luis Diaz to Liverpool? Is he our Jack Grealish, where he takes players on, he draws fouls and free kicks, he's very busy, he's up and down, he's a little bit creative, and he'll have the odd goal and the odd assist here and there, and he'll open up space for others. If that's the case, fantastic, I'm fine with it. Or is he an attacker in a Klopp team that he's meant to contribute to goals and assists, like all the other attackers in this team? What is he? That's all I'm saying.
But the thing is, Jamie, is he offering any of that at the moment? That's the question. Is he offering any of those stuff you're saying, which he ain't? Yeah, I mean, one cross in the whole game, like that's not enough. That's not good enough.
I think G's spot on with that. He's a good squad.
Yeah, it is good. Yeah.
For me, if he's going to keep Jota or Gakpo out of the team, then we're going to suffer because they've got a double output better than him. They score more goals. They provide more assists.
Yes.
Like, they're more intricate in the team play. Like, Jota is an amazing presser. Probably one of the best pressers we've got on the team.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, he's absolutely sensational at that job. And then you've got Gakpo, who's got an absolute wand of a foot from nowhere. Yeah. How many goals has he scored? Clutch goals now. Just smashes it.
We're talking about clutch. This is what my comment now. See, I've been seeing this, yeah. I've seen this everywhere about the Salah stuff, yeah. There's a difference between Salah and Diaz. Salah's a match winner. I can't... If it's 0-0 with 20 minutes to go, do you bring Diaz off or do you bring Salah off?
Diaz,
Salah never comes off.
He will never come off.
Why do you never take Salah off?
Because he'll score a crate.
Winner in the 93rd minute.
He's the match winner. He's the one who's going to do something. So this is what I'm saying about the Diaz. This is what I'm saying about Luis Diaz, guys. I'm not having a go at him. I think he's a fantastic footballer.
He is.
He's going to be 27 in January, guys. He's going to be 27 in January. How much better can Luis Diaz get? He had a serious knee injury that I think has really affected him because he isn't as athletic and he isn't as quick.
But he also had a breakdown on the initial injury as well, by the way. So it wasn't just a case of that injury. He got injured, and then he got injured on the recovery to that injury.
Mo Salah won us the game. Mo Salah won us the game Saturday. No one else.
That was the worst game I've seen Mo Salah play this year.
I don't think it was all that good. Yeah, I don't think it was that good. Sure.
Mo Salah was the worst forward on the pitch.
It was. The balls kept on bouncing off him.
Yeah. But he won us the game.
That's the difference. That is the difference.
The game. This is the difference. Look, I don't remember watching a player so bad in 90 minutes put away his penalty like he's been playing like Messi for 45 minutes. You know what I mean? And then he just caught that. The second goal he scored is so underrated. You know how easy
it was beautiful, Jamie. Oh, you're right.
Time. side
There's not
foot.
many people who can whip it like that, you know.
He could have
He does it all the
easily
time.
put that wide.
Exactly. He made it look so easy. He made it look so easy. Listen, nobody's having a go at Diaz. Let's just be real
No
here.
one's
You know what I mean?
love
We
Luis
love Diaz, but we expect more. We want to see Salah looking across the pitch like he did at like Mane in the past, and then see competition coming from the other side. You know what I mean? Creativity, goals, defensively, and everything like that. He's not getting that. He's not getting that anymore. This is what we want to see. That's the whole point of Diaz, man. Nobody's having a go at him. We're just trying to see if he can improve. What does he do for the team? Which is like, absolutely. Apart from goals, I have seen nothing this season, and I'm really. I don't. Jamie and McCabe, I don't criticize players a lot. I don't. I'm not that type of person.
I know.
But I have to be truthful. Like, what does he do? That's what I ask myself a lot of times. Like, apart from the goals, and now a lot of people are seeing that, and I'm glad people see that, because it will affect the team in the long term if he doesn't offer anything other than what he's doing right now.
And this is like what Drone says here. Salah improved his game as he got older. Why can't Diaz?
I don't know about you guys, but I love this guy. I love this Salah compared to the Salah who just get you goals.
Salah's the most complete footballer, right winger in world football, right? There's no about that, right? But Salah was doing bits when he was 27. You know what I mean? So this is still like Salah was a far better player than Luis Diaz at the same age. And he's just got better. And you are right, Drone. He can get better. And I hope he does. Fingers crossed.
I hope so.
The reason I'm critical of Luis Diaz, and people in the chat might not be getting this, the reason I'm overly critical of Luis Diaz, because I think he's a far better footballer than he's showing us right now. Because he has all the exceptional talent in the world to actually be a superstar. Would I have Martinelli or Luis Diaz in my team at left wing at the moment? I'm having Martinelli over Luis Diaz, probably. He's younger, he's quicker, he's more athletic, and I think he'll probably score more goals than Luis Diaz does. But it doesn't mean Luis Diaz is a terrible footballer. I think Luis Diaz is great. It's what our reception is of Luis Diaz. As I keep saying, is Luis Diaz a goal scorer and an assister who's going to get 25 GA a season? Or is he more of a Jack Grealish, where he's a tricky player that's very busy, that occupies defenders,
impacts the game now and again, impacts the game in matches, in moments,
Is that the player? So if he's that player, then I'm absolutely fine with it. I'm cool with it. And I've already said my favourite front three is Diaz, Salah, and
he's only
Nunes.
He's only scored 10 goals, over 10 goals in one season at any level in any club he's been at. Okay, so we have to understand that he's not going to get us those amounts of goals. Like, maybe when we signed him, we thought we were going to get that. But
that quad season came back, he was brilliant. I thought I don't know about you guys. I thought he was brilliant. Yeah.
For me, he just feels like he's playing safe. He's playing safe. Like, he's not doing anything outrageous. He's not overexerting himself. He's not.
All right, hang on. Let me just get to it's just doing my nutting.
It's a difficult one, but if he's going to keep Jota or Gakpo out, then
guys,
for me.
No one is here having a go at Luis Diaz again. We are saying, please listen, everyone. The question is, can Luis Diaz be world class? The question isn't. The question I have not put in the.
Can he get that form back, Jamie?
Diaz overrated.
Yeah.
Luis Diaz is a quality footballer. I'm asking in the chat, what does he do that makes everyone happy? What your exception of Luis Diaz? Is Luis Diaz a creative footballer where he's going to get 25 GA a season? Or is he a Jack Grealish type left winger? That's what I'm asking. And if you're going for the Jack Grealish left winger, that's fine. I'm cool with it. And by the way, he should be beating a 39-year-old defender who's not a right back when he's a left winger. He just should be. Yeah. And the two chances. And he did that really well when he won the penalty, because he crossed the ball, But he, at the same time, didn't make the defender put his arm out like this. He just crossed the ball in the box.
Crossed the ball in, yeah.
If I crossed the ball in the box and Patterson put his arm out like this, am I getting all the plaudits? The question I want to ask Jamie. In the live chat, why is no one in the live chat bringing up the two glaring mistakes Luis Diaz did in the game? That could have put us 2-0 up before half time. Why is no one bringing that up? That's what I don't get.
Keep staring it, man.
Just mad to me.
You know, you look at Diaz, guys. Like you look at the quad season, the season was competing. Like he was running up and down that wing. He was like scoring goals. He was creating goals. That's the question we're asking ourselves here. Is he going to get back to that or not? I mean, because he's still got time, obviously, to do that. There's two different players. That season he was brilliant. This season, and obviously since he come back, I don't see any of that happening. This is what we're asking. This is the questions we're asking. We're not really having a go at him. Can he get back to that levels again? That's the question.
No, I don't think so.
And here's the difference. Was Salah beating his Barmelienko? No, but he got the 2 goals that won us the game of football.
There you go.
That's
He had a really good game, by the way, Milenko.
Yeah, he did. He was fantastic.
So, Angel, let me ask you a question right now. We're 20 minutes ago when it was still 0-0.
Well.
Well, 20 minutes ago when it was still 0-0, would you have taken, and you only had 2 choices, yeah? You had 1 substitution left, and you had 2 options to make. Would you have taken Diaz off to 20 minutes ago, or would you have taken Mo Salah off for 20 minutes ago? Because that's what I'm trying to say. Everyone looks at that second goal Mo scored like it was easy. He took it first time, and he could easily put it wide. Easily, because he side-footed it, and the stance he had as well. He hit first time. Man should have took a touch really and just put it into an empty net. He took it first time. Easily missed. The penalty. He was playing so bad. He was terrible, Salah. He was like a 2 out of 10. And then he put his penalty away like he was playing the best football he's ever played in one match. You know.
But Jamie, you just typified it. Brother. Like you just said, like at least with Salah, even when he's having a bad game, he offers something else. That's the difference. That is the difference between the two players.
Can we also talk about Pickford as well with that penalty, please?
Hang on.
You actually see what happens.
Before we get to Pickford, if you like Diaz so much, you'd have Diaz. No one's listening, are they? No one is listening to me. Guys, in a Jurgen Klopp team, our forwards do rely on GA, do they not? Do they not? Our forwards do rely on GA, yeah? Because of the way we play, we're an attacking team. Liverpool are based under Jurgen Klopp as an attacking side. So they have to score goals and assist or be creative in some way. Yeah? I mean, Rashford in Liverpool would probably score 20-odd goals a season, yes. Because he's an attacking-minded player, right? But what I'm trying to say is, I'm not criticising Luis Diaz. I'm asking what is our thing of Luis Diaz? Is he a Jack Grealish type left winger, or is he a Sadio Mane kind of left winger? What does everyone see him as? Because if you see him as that Jack Grealish left winger that is creative but doesn't have massive GA, you know, Jack Grealish don't score goals. He barely assists goals, yeah. But what he does, he's very busy. He occupies defenders and he creates space for opposition players, yeah. And if that's Luis Diaz, I'm absolutely fine with it. Absolutely fine with it, right? But if you want a left winger in a Klopp team that's going to be more GA bound, you know, at the higher end of the pitch, goals and assists, then that's not Luis Diaz. That's all I'm asking, guys. I'm not hating the guy. I like the guy. I want him in my team. I've already said he's part of my favourite front three.
I just changed the subject as well. Have you seen the stats of Rashford versus Jota?
No.
You should check him out. I need to find that post. Basically, someone's done a stats and goals and assists of Jota and Rashford. Jota's ahead of him.
Wow.
Okay, I'll ask the chat a question. Who would you rather play for the whole season if they're both fit? Diaz or Jota on the left? Simple as that. Who would you rather play?
Oh, that's a question, you know. So, guys,
because I know who I would rather play.
If they were both injury free for a whole year, and you only had 2 choices, Jota or Diaz, that left winger, would you rather play? I think G's got it here right. I think he's a Grealish winger who can score, and Klopp's turning him to a Mane type. So it's now just in the middle. I think that's right. Yeah, you got to remember, Luis Diaz can play 4-4-2 on the left-sided midfield. He can play a little bit deeper on where he's playing now. You know, Mane couldn't play 4-4-2 on the left side of midfield. He just couldn't do it. Right? So Diaz is a completely different winger. Again, I'm not criticising Diaz. I love Diaz. I asked the question. He's got to be 27 in January, which I think has thrown a lot of people. I think they thought he was younger than that.
No.
Yeah, they
You know,
did.
how much better is Luis Diaz go to get? That's all I'm asking. Or are you happy with the kind of the winger he is? I like Diaz. I've not disliked him once in this video. I said he did everything well, winning the penalty. Yeah. Getting the man sent off. That was excellent wing play. I've not once disparaged that mark at all. So that's excellent wing play. But then everyone sort of glosses over the two opportunities in the game he had that was massive, that could have put us 2-0 up before half time, and we're coasting this game.
That could have been a different game, innit? It could have been a different game.
That's all I'm chatting about, guys.
Yeah.
I'm not slagging the guy off. I love him.
So if Jota was in that position taking those chances, would he have scored?
Yeah.
You have to ask the question.
Of course.
Because at the moment,
Yeah.
Diaz is keeping Jota out of the team.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying about Diaz, the penalty wouldn't have happened. I don't know if
we would have had another player crossing it.
Were we even creating anything in the game? Like, if you think about it, like, what were we in that game? Were we brilliant? No.
Let me put this to the other way around, guys. If Jota was playing left wing, would Jota have made that pass to Mo Salah when we were on the counter attack at 0-0?
Hell yeah.
Would the Jota taken the shot quicker than Diaz when he was 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper before Tarkowski blocked him?
Yes, of course.
So so we can all do these questions, guys. We can all do these questions. See, everyone's glossing over still the two massive opportunities Luis Diaz had in the game. And I can guarantee everyone watching that Merseyside Derby Saturday will have been pulling their hair out at them two massive opportunities that Luis Diaz had. You know, massive opportunities. I get frustrated with Mo Salah every week. He frustrates the shit out of me. But he's the match winner. But he contributes. He's the match winner every single week. It's just, I'm not slagging Diaz off. I love the guy. We all love him. We're just asking him. We're asking you in the chat, what is Luis? Right. Let's start again. Let's all be friends. Let's all be friends in the chat. Let's all be friends in the chat. Let's all shake hands and forget about what I said 10 minutes ago. Everyone in the chat, what is Luis Diaz to you as a left winger? Let me know in the chat right now. What do you perceive Luis Diaz to be? Is he a Jack Grealish kind of left winger, or is he a Sadio Mane kind of left winger? What do you think he is? Let me know in the chat right now. Put Grealish in the chat or put Mane in the chat, letting me know what you think Luis Diaz is as a winger, and then we can move on.
Can I just say something about Diaz as well, which people probably don't know? He only really started playing football when he was 22.
Whoa.
That's when he broke into the Porto team. Like, he's a late starter. And he's had two bad injuries. Like, 2 bad injuries. And also, look, that left side was Mane, yeah? If we're going to replace Mane, then we need to replace 196 games, 90 goals, 29 assists.
Wow. Wow.
That's and if you look at that, 90 goals, yeah, Jota scored 33 goals in 84 games. Yeah. That is your Mane replacement. I'm sorry, like, you know, you find a way. But he is the guy.
Let me just, like, you're highlighting Diaz's misses when the fact is he won us the game. So if Salah missed a penalty, it's still 0-0. He hasn't won us the game, has he? I'm just putting it out there. Yes, he won us the penalty, yeah. But if Salah don't score the penalty,
I think they're kind of putting on that as well. Like,
if Salah doesn't score the penalty, it's still 0-0. Yeah, he got a man sent off, but it was still 0-0. You know, this is what I'm trying to say. These arguments are all correct, by the way. No one in the live chat's wrong, and no one in this panel is wrong. It's what you see as what's going on. No one's disliking Diaz. I've said it many times. I want Diaz against Nottingham Forest to be assisting 1, scoring 2, because I know he's capable of it, guys. This is what I'm trying to say to like everyone here. I know Luis Diaz is capable of winning games of football all by himself.
Spot on.
I just need to see it more. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, everybody loves Diaz, man. There's no issues with him. It's just other than like he just needs to like
That's
perform.
a really good comment, by the way,
Yeah.
by Alex Gold. Will we be having this conversation if that Diaz worldie against Spurs would have gone in?
You know what? And you know what? That is what Diaz is capable of, by the way. That is what Diaz is capable of. And that is why I'm critical. Would I be critical of a footballer that I didn't respect and rate? This is what everyone's getting not sort of understanding. I rate Luis Diaz so highly. That goal against Spurs, he is capable of doing that every single week.
Yes.
Every single week he is capable of doing that. He's a superb footballer, but he's going to be 27 in January. We're not on about a 22 or 23-year-old kid who's still got years ago to improve his game. He's going to be 27 in January. I think the knee injury is a caveat in all this, because I do think the knee injury, he's not quite the same player he was before the knee injury, which is fine. Which is absolutely fine. But yeah, that's what he's miles capable of. Miles capable of. And big up 12th man. He says, Jamie, you are twerking hard with that logic. If Ashley Underdog throw himself into a diving sliding tackle wheel 1-0 up, you can't play what? The if game. Well, of course you can play the if game. Because how do you know he scores? Yeah, I'm just because the reason I can play the if game, 12th man, this is simple. Because I saw Luis Diaz have a chance miles before that, where he took his butt-ass time to put it onto his other foot, that Tarvossi came in and slide past him and blocked the shot. So I can play the if game, because he might not have scored. Because I have proof of that, because minutes before it, he got put through one-on-one, cut inside, took so long to the shot, Tarvossi blocked it. So yeah, I can play the if game. Of course I can. But also, let's get Diaz a whole year. One thing I will say, Luis Diaz has never had a whole season injury-free since he's been at Liverpool Football Club. Nope. So if he has a whole injury-free season, he's getting like 50 GA at the end of the season, then yeah, quality. I want to see it. This is what people not understand.
We'll have another show.
Guys, if you think this is bad, we're about to get on to Konate. So if you think
Can I talk about tiny hands? Can I talk about tiny hands? Yeah. So I was watching the
oh, hang on, sorry, that's
the US version.
Mate, this is a great shout as well.
Yeah,
that Darwin won us the game as well, because he had the assist to Salah.
That was a brilliant pass. Last season that pass doesn't happen.
You think he would have took a shot? Okay, man. You think he would have took a shot?
I don't think he would have had the gameplay to be able to hold that, to pass it. I think he'd have probably passed it offside. You can tell that he's been working on his game.
Yeah,
like really well, and he has. Like, he played well against Brighton as well, by the way. Like, he
Darwin,
did, like, the Darwin, like the
I said this the other day. I would not swap Darwin Núñez for Osherman.
He's a different player now. He's got a lot more to his game.
I think Darwin's got a bright future, man.
He just needs to stop getting bloody stupid injuries. Like, they're starting to annoy me.
Yeah, it's true.
He needs to play more regularly. He needs to play week in, week out.
I think he's one of those players as well. Okay, so tiny hands. So the commentator was talking about his water bottle.
Oh yeah.
The fact that he had all of the players like that took the penalties, and they zoomed in on the water bottle. And Pickford walked over to it and he went, "Oh, he's going to check it out." And he picked up a different water bottle with nothing on it, drank the water, and then got beat. So he didn't even look at his water bottle.
I mean, the thing with Salah's penalties as well is that if you try and just stay still, you might save a Salah penalty. Because he's
down the middle.
He is very whack it through the middle sort of thing. But yeah, you are right there. It was hilarious. But guys in the chat, we all love you. I love you. We can all agree to disagree. There's no problem with it. It's all cool. It's all cool. That's what football's about. That's what debate's about. We all see football differently. Yeah. But big up the chat. You're all great. You might not like me after this one, though. So, Konate. My Konate, here we go. Right. I've said it for a while now.
We had a show on this, didn't we? Do you remember?
Yeah. I've said for a while now, I believe Jurgen Klopp's favourite partnership is Matip and Virgil van Dijk at the back. and I'm starting them. I think it is. I think that is our best centre back partnership. When Matip's fit, I think Matip is just a better defender than Konate right now. This is not a diss on Konate, by the way. Konate's got a massive high ceiling and can be whatever he wants to be. But Konate does have moments. He does have moments that he seems to continually do. That you think when we first got him, he had moments, and oh bloody hell, he can't keep doing this. And you're like, he'll grow out of it, he'll stop doing it. And he continues to have these mad moments. Look, I think we can all agree that Konate probably should have got sent off against Everton.
100%.
That's an
100%.
idiotic thing to do, what he did. But it's what Konate does. And Konate's not a bad defender. Konate's an exceptionally good defender, yeah? He reminds me of Lovren so much.
Yeah.
Where, by the way, if you go and look at Lovren's career, by the way,
Lovren
is a great defender. There's nothing wrong with his defending. But what Lovren at Liverpool tried to do a heck of a lot was always beat up the attacker before winning the ball. He'd always try and get onto the attacker before the attacker had the chance to get the ball, disturb him, move him out of the way. And what happened then, Lovren either foul him, give away stupid free kicks, or that attacker would be too quick for him and just spin it round him. And then he's got all that open space in front of him. Konate has these moments. And I think Klopp thinks the same way because if Klopp rated Konate that highly, Konate and Virgil would just be the number one partner.
Automatic picks, yes, 100%.
They'd be automatic. There won't be no discussion. And people were talking to me. I was talking about this the other day, and people were coming up saying in live chat, well, it's just rotation. Well, if that's the case, why does Virgil never get rotated?
Yep.
Virgil's number one. No, Virgil don't get rotated. We need a settled back four. And for me right now, look, we can see goals. That's because we have never got a settled defence. One week it's Matip, next week it's Gomez, the next week it's Konate. Then Konate might have 4 games in a row. Then he has a bozo moment. Then Matip comes in and he has 4 games. Then he has a weird moment. Then Gomez comes in. He's actually been all right this season. I'm going to be fair to Gomez. And so Virgil's just been the number one thing. I personally think Klopp feels like Matip at this moment in time is the more steady, better defender that works better alongside Virgil van Dijk. Fozzie, what do you think?
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. Matip is the preferred option since they started together. With Konate, we discussed it before. Me, you, and who was it? Ends. I remember I was discussing it, and I was telling you guys he's not as good as you guys think he is. Like I think I was told he's going to be Van Dijk's replacement, and I said to you, I don't think mentally he's that type of defender. We need a calm, influence defender that actually can, take care of the ball and pass the ball better and all that stuff. And you can see it clearly now for yourselves. I said about him. Mentally, he's not in tune in certain games, and this is why he keeps making mistakes. You could put Konate in a Champions League final; he'd be the best player. That's the type of defender he is. But if you put him in certain games, I don't know what he thinks. Like when he's supposed to kick the ball off for a throw, and he tries to use his body to get out of situations or cause a foul that leads to a goal or a penalty. He does things like that on a continuous basis, and which is worrying. Is this the defender that's going to be like this for the rest of his career, or is he going to improve as he goes along? And for now, we're watching him. He's very rash, and he could cost us points if he continues playing the way he's playing. And I'm always going to prefer Matip over him. Matip is 32 years old, guys. Like Konate is 24. So you expect Konate to be, at least much better than when we first bought him, but he's not even getting any better. That's the worst part of it.
Does Konate ever become a better defender than Joel Matip?
No. From what I can see, I can't see that happen. Jamie, I predicted this. What was it like before the summer? And we was discussing it, and I said it to you. I can see something is not right with this guy, and he's doing the same things. I honestly think what you see is what you're gonna get. He's always gonna be rash, and like you just said about Lovren. That was Lovren back in the day. He could perform in certain games like World Cup finals and all that stuff. But when it comes to like small games and all that stuff, he's a different player. He's a different player, man.
Alex puts it here. Konate has all the physical attributes without the composure. That might just wrap all that up.
Maybe you can't have both. Maybe you can't have both.
I just feel
Maybe
like
you can't be a guy that puts out fires and battles and wins all of that kind of, the confrontational stuff, and have the composure and the calmness to be able to do what Matip does. Like, maybe you can't have both. Like, and we're trying to find a guy that can do both.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like a unicorn.
Would you let me ask you a question, Mac? Would you guys be happy if when Van Dijk and Matip leaves, if he's the lead at the back, and there's one else? No. We're in trouble, aren't we? That's what I'm trying to warn people. We need a replacement.
I think Matip's getting a new contract, by the way.
Wow.
I don't think Klopp's ready to let Matip.
Well,
I don't think he is.
I said it on yesterday's show. I'd rather keep Matip than Thiago. I literally can see why Matip would stay.
Yeah.
Look, Konate, there's no proof in the pudding that Konate will get rid of his rashness as he gets older. There's no proof in the pudding in this. He could, by the time he comes 27, 28, he could have got rid of all that rashness. If he got rid of all that rashness, by the way, what he does, and with his physical strength, and he has that composure to his game, he could arguably be the best defender in the world. There's absolutely no doubt about that.
No doubt.
Absolutely no. But we don't know if that's the case. This is the problem, guys. None of us can see the future. None of us can go, he's 24, I think now. None of us can go, when he's 26, 27, he's got to get rid of that in his game. He's going to be more composed. And with his athletic ability, his size, his pace, his strength, he's got to be the number one defender in the world. No one can say that.
He reminds me of?
Future.
You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Sacco. Do you remember Sacco?
I was about to say that.
Reminds me of Sacco. Look, the crazy thing is, it is a French central defender trait. It really is. There are so many
overconfidence, yeah,
that have this in them. Like, you have to look at Konate as well. He moved to Leipzig with Uber Konate. How do you say his name?
No, you got
to say.
You infected him.
Upamecano. So he moved to Leipzig at a young age with Upamecano, and the pair of them have both got the bozo gene.
Yeah,
both of them. Like, he went to Bayern Munich. He's exactly the same. He's really rash. You know what? That is a really good shout. He is a bit Maguire-y, isn't he?
Oh man,
he is a bit Maguire-y.
Tremendous defenders, and look, people will come at me that Upamecano and Konate was France's two centre backs. They probably are. William Saliba and Konate are probably the future centre backs for France. There's no doubt about that, right. And William Saliba, by the way, people compare Konate and Saliba because they're around the same age and they're both French, both in the national team. All this.
I don't compare Saliba to Konate. He's not the same type of player.
But they're different.
Completely
players.
different. Completely
Saliba
different.
is more calm and cool. He's like your Virgil kind.
Virgil van Dijk, yeah, Rolls Royce, yeah.
Konate's not. And the thing is, guys, if you look at centre backs all over the world, usually the cool, the calm ones are regarded as the best centre backs around. The rash ones are never considered that because of the incidents that they do in games. But it doesn't mean they're bad defenders. This is the point we've got to get across here. Yeah. No one's saying Konate is a bad defender. No one's saying Konate is a bad footballer or anything like that. We all think he's a great defender, but he could be exceptional. This is, again, what we're saying. But there's no proof in the pudding, as I keep saying, that he won't always be rash. But Konate could play against Forest on Sunday and put in a man-of-the-match performance.
Yeah,
because 100%. Konate is exceptionally good, so he can do that.
But
he
Jamie,
can have games like that. But
I don't want
the thing you guys have got to look at, like what won us titles.
We lost the Forest with him. We lost the Forest with him last season, by the way.
I don't know if he played. I think Gomez was playing as a centre back.
Look at the Benfica game.
With Virgil, I think, yeah.
When we played Matip and Konate as a centre back, and Benfica almost beat us.
Yeah.
Because Virgil weren't playing in that game. It's just you can't compare anyone to Virgil because Virgil's still our best defender. By the way, still the best defender in the league. He's been exceptional this year.
Okay, can I just have to chat something then? Okay,
Mhm.
because I can see a lot of people saying that like we're hating on Konate. Okay?
There's no one hating on
I love
Konate.
Konate.
Okay,
I love Konate.
this
He's a decent man.
Mhm.
this season, who has been the better? As in, just a better player, like as in more calm, like not being rash, you know, being better in more defensive positions and just being able to control a game more and being in control of yourself more. Yeah, Konate or Kwanzaa?
That's a good shot, man. Kwanzaa's been much better, in my opinion.
One's 20 years old. One's 24.
I'm not
I've been at the club 3 years.
I'm not
Jamie,
saying
come on,
anything.
Jamie,
I'm not
jump on
saying
board.
anything. I'm getting hate as it is. I
They
will
could just
say
hate
one.
me.
But look, but we have to, Jamie, we have to ask that questions because he's the future. Konate is the future of Liverpool. Is this what the future is going to look like? If we don't ask these questions, then how would we know? You know what I mean? So, like, this guy is clumsy. Is he the Virgil replacement? Is he going to be... Look, Virgil and Matip are 32 now. So, is this what the future is going to look like? Mistake merchants? We concede every game we play. We have to like outscore teams, or are we going to keep it tight like we won in the past with Matip and Virgil? That's what we're asking with Konate. That's the question. I mean, we don't hating on him. It's just a question about him. Is he going to be the replacement for these players in the future? And is this what you want?
Fact, look, Konate is
We have to ask these questions or we wouldn't be doing our job.
Yeah, Konate is nowhere near. Konate is nowhere near ready to be a Virgil van Dijk replacement. I think even everyone in the chat can agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Look, again, I don't mind the calm defender and the rash defender as a partnership. I really don't, because you do see that in a lot of teams around the world, you know, in big teams. So sometimes they have that calm defender and that rash defender. And when the calm defender don't play, you know, you got a rash defender with another, it don't work.
No.
You know, that's why everyone says Varane always look better with Thingy as Ramos as his centre back partner. Yeah. I think Konate is an extremely good defender. I don't think he's a bad defender. I think he's a good squad player for Liverpool who's going to have a bright future. We're just asking here and today, how good can Konate be? Will he always be rash? Will he always be rash? Look at Joe Gomez. He's older. Joe Gomez is still rash. That's never gone out of his game and never will, because that's the player he is. And I don't think Joe Gomez is that bad. I think Joe Gomez has actually been our second best defender this season behind Virgil since he came back, when he came in against Newcastle. I think he's actually been our second best defender. But he's always been rash. None of us can predict that Konate is not going to keep being rash when he's 26, 27, 28. Mm-hmm. But he's still going to be a very good defender. So for a Virgil replacement needs to be Virgil-like. You need to get a calm centre-back. Mm-hmm. A ball-playing, calm centre-back like Virgil is, to play alongside a Konate. You can't get a Konate and a Konate together. That'd be disastrous. You know, it'd be terrible. So that's what we're saying, chat. We don't hate Konate. We didn't hate Diaz. We don't hate all of these players. We want them to be Liverpool players. I wouldn't even sell them. Kmart might, but I wouldn't sell them.
I wouldn't sell Konate.
No, we rate Konate. Yeah,
I like Konate.
What sort of defender is he going to be?
Yeah, I don't think he plays well with the inverted role. By the way,
that's
personally me. Like I just don't think that's.
Are you guys still happy with that, American and Jamie? No. The inverted role. I'm done. I said it a long time ago, and I'm done with it. But I don't know if you guys are still like feeling the same way.
I want to see the inverted role when we actually have three centre backs playing.
Yeah, I want to see. That's the only time I want to see it.
That's why I'm saying play Joe Gomez at left back or Kwanzaa at left back, and then see what it's like then, because you got actual three centre backs who can pick up the positions they defensively know better. Robbo is not a centre back.
No, yeah.
It limited his game so much, and mistakes came from Robbo playing that role. So I want to see. I don't think we can see if it works. Look at the way Pep Guardiola did it at City. They play four centre backs. If they don't play Kyle Walker, they literally play four centre backs across the middle.
I think he's a centre back as well.
And then they have John Stones inverting. Because Kyle Walker don't get up and down the pitch like a right back, really. He doesn't. Sits back. So they really play four centre-backs across the middle, so John Stones can invert. So when John Stones inverts into that midfield position, he's still got three centre-backs at the back.
And you got Rodri, who's a defensive-minded midfielder as well. On top of that.
So if for this to work, I've got to see it with a centre back at left back for me. I really have.
Okay.
So, and that's when we can. That's when I think we'll find out if this works or not, because Trent going inverted. Trent can do that job, but then Robbo can't be a centre back. So you're taking our 2 fullbacks away and putting him one in a position where he can play, and one in a position where he can't play. So that straight away limits our game. So yeah, I'd like to see Gomez or Quansah play. I'd like to see it on midweek, on Thursday. To be honest,
yeah,
because I think rotation's a bit of a myth. I think rotation makes your players worse, not better. And I look at City, because everyone always brings up City about rotation, like Pep rotates the whole squad.
They don't rotate much.
They don't rotate
much. Their squad isn't that big, is it?
And when they rotate, it's the same 3 or 4 players.
Yeah.
And then them 4 players, the 3 players he rotated in that game will all come off, and then 3 players will come on. He's not rotating like that. And I don't think rotation is needed. I don't think Trent. I think Trent at his age should play every game. I don't get why he can't. We have 5 substitutions now. You can change half your outfield team in one match. So that's why I'm saying play Trent midweek. Play him on Thursday. Play Gomez at left back. Play Quansah and I don't know, Virgil at centre backs or something like that. And try this 4-3. Try this inverted roll out in that game. Try it out in that game and see what happens. But yeah, I think you've got to rest. Obviously, you've got to rest players that more need the rest. That players in your team, might be only 60-minute men, and that's not a problem. You play 60 minutes, you bring them off. But
Jamie, you take those risks when you're in the Champions League and all that stuff. We're not in that Champions League anymore. Yeah, now, just play the game, play everyone in the games now. Let them build a relationship. And the seasons we won the Champions League and the Premier League, what was the most important thing? It was the consistency of the players on the pitch, right? That's how we won.
Yeah, and I don't think our players deal with rest, because the way we play, the way we train, it's so high intense. Yeah. When you rest, your body, our players need their electrolytes to be pumping all the time by the look of it. Yeah. They need to be constantly going, because everyone was worried, like you were saying, everyone was worried when that Premier League winning season, when we were playing in, was it Asia and South America, in the World Club Cup. And then 48 hours later, we played Leicester. That was the game of the season for Liverpool.
What a game.
And no one rested. No one rested. And we looked tremendous. And he just kept going until the end of the season.
Yeah.
And then look at the gap when COVID hit and crap Liverpool were when they came back. Look at where the World Cup look at international breaks. Liverpool are never the same.
It's the same. No.
This team prefers to play week in, week out. That's why I think resting's a bit of a myth. It's more
I think the next game as well. I think if we beat Toulouse home and away, I think we're through with like 2 games in hand. So I think it makes sense to just get those games won, get them out of the way.
Spot on.
Yeah. I think Klopp's taking Europa League seriously, and I think he's taking it more seriously than fans probably want. And I've seen it as well with the players.
Yeah,
I think our performances in Europa League are going to be all quite similar to we get out the group stages. Because I feel like Klopp, I think, mentioned it, that the players have got to stop feeling sorry for themselves, that they're not in the Champions League. Because that's how they're playing, when they're playing the Europa League. Because when they're playing whoever, Lask and Union and all these teams, the players must be going on the pitch thinking, Jesus Christ,
what am I doing?
Real Madrid in the final 12 months ago, and now we're playing these two. You can't get out of your mindset. And then Klopp brought it up. They've got to stop feeling sorry for themselves. But I think Klopp's taking it more seriously than the players are, maybe. And I expect to see a strong team against Toulouse at home. I really do. I think we'll see a strong side. Don't know about you guys.
I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, I
hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, Sammy Ipia, man. Player he was.
Underrated.
Another calm.
He didn't actually play that many games, He was always injured.
Yeah, but when he played, man.
Honestly, guys.
You know what I love about him? The consistency in it came back. He was just consistent, yeah.
I do need to talk. I talk about some of the players that we used to have though that seem to get so much hype when they weren't all that.
Who?
And this guy, like he's become like a Liverpool legend because he got YNWA tattooed on his bloody hands. Like he wasn't that great. Seriously, wasn't that great. Watch it. Watch Liverpool from old.
As a player or his injury consistency?
As a player, he wasn't that great.
Oh, Daniel Agger, you chatting?
Daniel Agger.
He wasn't that great. He scored a couple of good goals and he got a tattoo. Liverpool.
Yeah,
we had this. We had this mentality. Honestly, we had this mentality that like when a player becomes like an icon for Liverpool because he supports Liverpool and he gets tattoos and stuff like that.
I honestly think it's just the injuries that hampered his career.
Yeah,
I honestly think that. Yeah,
when I was injured,
if he wasn't injured, I think
he had massive injury problems. He retired.
Bad injuries.
He retired before he was 30, I believe, at 29 or something like that.
Yeah, he had to go. Yeah.
Because of injuries to his body. If he was injury free, I do think he would have been an exceptional centre back. Yeah. Because he was a talented footballer as well. He could play.
Yeah.
This is the thing with Daniel. That man could play. Remember some of his long shots from 40 yards that he scored as well.
West Ham at home.
Yeah,
I remember that.
He was a decent footballer, but injuries. You are right, K-Mac. I don't think we can put him down as a legend because the injuries. But Sammy Ipia, Sammy Ipia was different gravy, man. Sammy Ipia was. We bought him for 2.4 million. Do you know before we bought him, he was meant to go to Oldham?
Oh,
sensational.
Yeah, he was meant to go to Oldham, and we bought him
underrated
for 4 million. And then partnered him with Stefan Honcho. Whew. Great partnership.
Two different centre backs. They're completely different.
Stefan Honcho could be a bit rash. He was sort of more of a rash defender.
Yeah. But what I love about Honcho, he used to throw himself at the ball, didn't he, guys? Like he makes sure like there's no goals going in.
He put in everything to win.
Everything, mate.
How many goals did Sammy Ipia score from corners?
Oh.
And important goals as well. Important
ones.
Juventus at home. I'm going
to say it right now. Sammy Ipia was a better goal scoring defender than Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah, hands down, 100%. He was natural. He was just natural.
Do you remember his left foot volley first time against Juventus?
Yes,
at the back post from the corner. Man was disgusting. And the thing is, he didn't need pace because he read the game. He read the game beautifully. No one
never lost in the air either. Never lost in the air against anyone.
A man with no pace. No one really skinned him till we got to his later in his career when he was retiring in his final days at Liverpool. But before that, no one skinned the man. He had no pace. He couldn't run. And that's why I always looked at. This is why I used to bring the Fabinho debate up last year, and everyone's saying about just get legs around him. I'm like, no.
I remember I was saying that. Yeah, I remember I was saying that.
Your DM, he should be better at reading the game. He doesn't need the pace. You know what I mean? If you can, Teddy Sheringham was one of the slowest forwards I've ever seen, but he always had a yard upstairs before everyone else.
Yeah,
and knew where he was going to go on the pitch, so he didn't need pace.
Everyone's pulling off the names in the chat now.
Yeah, there we go.
Steve Finnan. That's an underrated player. Yes, true, Don. 100% Steve Finnan. Underrated.
I don't ever think he ever gets the flowers he deserves.
No, man, that's sad, that.
Marcus Babbel. We only had Marcus Babbel for a year, you know.
Yeah.
Honestly, it felt like we had him for a lot longer.
He got Guillain-Barré, didn't he? He got Guillain-Barré syndrome, the poor man.
Yeah.
When we bought him, do you remember when we bought him and Christian Ziege? I was like, Jesus. These German fullbacks from Bayern Munich, what are we doing? Christian Ziege was immense. And Marcus Babbel, tremendous players. Unfortunately, Marcus Babbel was a tremendous player. Unfortunately, he got Guillain-Barré syndrome, didn't he? And ruined his career. Risa, tremendous left back.
Good defender.
How much did he cost? He was really cheap, wasn't he?
5 million, wasn't it? If I remember right.
It was very
cheap.
Where
did we get him from? Was it from
Monaco?
And on his debut,
because I remember he scored from the halfway line for Monaco when they kept on showing us how good he is.
Monaco.
And on his debut for Liverpool, he scored in the Super Cup at Monaco Stadium, didn't he?
Yeah. It's true. I forgot about that.
Against Bayern Munich, wasn't it? When we were We
Did
beat Bayern
Heskey
Munich.
score? Owen scored, I think, as well.
Yeah, you remember
Yeah.
Heskey's run when he destroyed Bayern Munich when he just went
Yeah.
like that right through. I was like, go on, Emil. Emil Heskey's the biggest confidence player I've ever seen in my life.
Oh,
Do you
put
remember
an
that
arm
year he
around
had
Emil
when he scored over 20 goals?
Yeah, you put an arm around Emil Heskey and tell him you love him and you're great and all that.
He
He'll
was
give you 20 goals.
incredible.
You ignore him at lunch one day. That man ain't doing nothing. That man ain't doing nothing the following week. That's what Michael Owen used to say about him, wasn't it?
I can't remember. Someone said like he was quite possibly one of the most talented players he's ever seen. Like he could have been
Peter Taylor said it, didn't he?
Yeah, he could have been incredible.
Do you remember when Biscan started taking players on before he left Liverpool?
It's Champions League, isn't it? 2005.
Yeah,
Deportivo away, isn't it? Deportivo away.
Started going on amazing dribbles and rules.
Yeah.
Where's that come from? Yeah, Litmanen. We bought him
too late.
Assistant manager for Croatia.
Yeah. He manages in the Croatian league, don't he? Then?
It does, yeah.
Yeah,
Litmanen was just too late, man. Yeah.
Heskey and Owen was a great partnership.
It was.
For Liverpool.
Complemented each other good, yeah.
Yeah.
One scores goals once, does all the donkey work for him.
Yeah, Momo Sissoko. That's when Liverpool.
He was good, but the thing that used to piss me off about him is he used to lose the ball a lot. You know what I mean?
That's part of the best midfield ever.
He nearly went blind.
Yeah.
We remember that midfield. Gerrard, Alonso, Mascherano, Momo Sissoko.
Oof.
That was a song, wasn't it? We have the best midfield in the world.
Yeah.
And we won fuck all with it.
Crazy, isn't it?
That's why I keep saying. That's why I say now.
We got nothing with that midfield together.
Yeah, we had Gerrard, Alonso, Mascherano, and Momo Sissoko, yeah. And they won nothing. When we won the Premier League, we had Henderson, who played every week, Wijnaldum and Fabinho, and James Milner, and we won everything. You can't make...
You couldn't make it up.
Football logic don't make sense, does it? Football logic don't make sense. Patrick Berger.
We won like 4
injuries hampered
trophies, didn't we, with Houllier, with Haman. Who else did we have?
Danny Murphy.
Gerrard and who's the other midfielder?
Was it Gerrard, Haman, Danny Murphy? Who else was it? We had a few.
Danny Murphy was a decent little player, man. Yeah, decent little player. Yeah, Arbeloa. Arbeloa wasn't great for Liverpool. Arbeloa never got his flowers in at Liverpool, but my God, he went to Real Madrid and just kicked off.
Hey, I remember we went to Barcelona where Mark Messi at. I mean, so there you go.
But people never really...
They took loads of our players back then, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, everyone's busy in the chat now. We're all friends.
Gary Matt.
We're all friends again now. Morientes.
Lucas Lavea, that's who we had. We had Lucas Lavea in that team.
Oh, Jim.
Letelec as well.
When Andy Letelec wanted Gerrard wages, we wouldn't sign a new contract.
Bruno Cheru, the next Zidane.
Oh, yeah. When Benoit was far better, his brother. We always buy the shit brother. Have you ever noticed that? Liverpool always buy the shit brother. Always buy the shit brother. Oh,
Kronkamp. Oh, damn. No.
Kronkamp. Oh yeah, Liverpool had some trash, man.
At least we got John Barnes and not Luther Blissett.
Oh yeah.
To Milan.
What was his nickname? What was his nickname? Luther Missett, wasn't it?
Yeah, Inter Milan signed Luther Blissett, thinking it was John Barnes.
Oh, well, that's not that doesn't sound racial at all. Jesus Christ, how can you get them two mixed up?
We signed him the year later after we signed him, so the scout must have gone there, looked at him.
That's like the referee when
That's a good one, Jerry.
Is that the Arsenal game when that referee should have sent Oxlade-Chamberlain off and he sent Gibbs off or something like that?
Yeah.
It happened in the World Cup, did it, as well? I think it happened in the Croatian game in the World Cup. I remember. I think it was an English referee as well.
What are you doing, Philip Deegan?
We were playing Arsenal then, weren't we? When he got sent off.
That's right.
Yeah.
Philip Deegan. Do you know how good Philip Deegan had all the quality? He was quick as
before Liverpool. He was good, man. He was
so quick.
Oh.
He was meant to be the next big thing, but he never happened.
I'll tell you something you don't know about.
He's
Philip
a fisherman
Deegan.
now. By the way, he's a fisherman now.
He's the guy that's behind a lot of the Salzburg youth team players that they sign. He works in their scouting team, Philip
Mm.
Deggin.
Yeah,
I know.
Jamie, I think you're talking about Vegard Hegem.
Hegem. Yeah, he's a fisherman, ain't he? Yeah.
The Norwegian player.
That's it.
Yeah.
Cinema Pongo.
He scored a really
Antonio
important goal in the
Nunes.
Champions
Oh,
League run.
true. Don't come
Hey.
on, man. Don't put that name on there, man.
Antonio Nunes, that we got.
We swapped got a Marco Owen for that. Oh,
8 million, and we got it.
Ah!
Antonio Nunes.
Well, it still goes in history. Didn't he score in the Champions League or something against Olympiacos? So he scored a header, didn't he?
I think he did actually. Yeah.
Do you want me to? Do you want me to tell you a little story about Michael Owen?
Go on, bro.
So my mate, when I was in the army, I was coming over to the UK because I was based in Germany, and my mate was getting married out in Las Vegas, and we got on the flight, and the best man upgraded us to first class, and when we got on the flight, Michael Owen was in the departure lounge, like the VIP departure lounge, and he was going to Las Vegas for his stag do as well, and he was best mates with the guy who used to play for Man United, Brown, the defender.
Wes Brown.
Wes Brown, yeah, he was there. There was a couple of other people there as well. Anyway, I got drunk and I was basically just pestering Michael Owen the whole time. and we're sat in first class on the plane, and he was sat just like across the way from me. And I just kept on talking to him, and he just turned around and said to me, "I'm not being funny, mate, but I'm fucking off to Real Madrid next season.
Wow.
So can you leave me alone?"
Wow.
And I started hailing him.
That was the thing. I remember that season so well when Rafa came in. And when he came in, he had this thing he had to sort out, didn't he? Because there was rumours that we could lose Mark Owen and Steven Gerrard that summer. And he had to decide who he was going to keep, and he decided to keep Stevie. But I think we all forget how good Mark Owen was.
He was insane.
He was a beast.
Mark Owen, he won the Ballon d'Or. He was tremendous. I mean, the Ballon d'Or back then was for European-based players, weren't it?
No. It wasn't, because George Weah won it.
No, European-based, like playing in Europe.
Oh,
the Ballon d'Or back
then.
Yeah.
Maybe
had a few British players that could sneak into it back then, like actual British players.
Mark Owen at 18. Mark Owen at 18 was
incredible.
Good. I saw a comment Mark Owen made, and it was on TNT Sport, I think, last season, and he said, because he was talking about the Mbappe situation, and he was sort of comparing himself to Mbappe, and people got online and going, "Fucking Mark Owen, the audacity of comparing." And it's like, how old are you? Because do you understand how good Mark Owen was at 17 and 18? He was out of this world, So if anyone can compare it, he's actually Mark Owen.
He's the one, yeah.
It's just that Liverpool overplayed him. He got overplayed. If Mark Owen was 18 in this day and age in football now, Jesus Christ.
I think he went to Real Madrid at the wrong time, innit? Raul was there and the original Ronaldo, so you got to take over those two.
R9. He actually was partnering. The thing at Real Madrid, politics got in the way.
Yeah.
Because you had Raul still there, who's regarded as a king of Spain,
but he was dipping at the time as well.
And you had Guti there as well, and they had their little clique in Madrid, didn't they? Where they spoke to the president, they were matey, they went for tea and all that sort of stuff. And Mark Owen took Raul's spot and partnered R9, and had Beckham on the right, Zidane behind him. This is ridiculous, and Figo off the left. What a team, right?
And
Mark Owen, before he got sold,
substitute record, didn't he?
Yeah. Scoring every time he comes off, yeah.
And before Michael Owen got dropped out of the Real Madrid team and forgotten about it, he had 14 goals. He was doing bits, right? And then Raul and all that got involved. It was all political. And then, they decided he was going to leave that year. Then Michael Owen wanted to go back to England. Because he just wanted
to come back to Liverpool, actually. I think
he wanted to go to Madrid, see what it's like, and then come back to Liverpool.
Yeah.
But Rafa, because Rafa's the cold. Because Rafa's the coldest bastard anyone's ever met in their lives. Right. No, you're right. I've moved on now. Got Fernando Torres. All right. I don't need you, man. I don't need you. But yeah, Owen was a different player.
It was different, mate.
He played in a time when defending was harder.
Yeah.
And scoring goals is harder than it is today. So he was a phenomenal footballer. Tremendous player.
He played when it was man's football.
Yeah,
Spot on, came out.
Oh,
Spot
Like
on.
red cards weren't even yellow cards
Thing, yeah.
back then.
Yeah,
He was absolutely sensational. So was McManaman as well, by the way. McManaman won two titles with Real Madrid.
Yeah,
he was absolutely sensational for them as
back-to-back
well.
Champions League winners.
Yeah,
He scored in the final, that left foot volley.
Mhm.
Yeah, McManaman was a great player. Liverpool did it dirty though.
We did it dirty, big time.
Steve McManaman never wanted to leave. He wanted a new deal, but he wanted to get paid what he think he was worth.
Yeah.
Because at the time he was Liverpool's best
He
player.
was one of the best players in the Premier League, wasn't he?
And Liverpool did him dirty. And he decided to go to Real Madrid on a free. And he was really the first big free transfer, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was that
under the Bosman.
Yeah, that real first big free transfer. And
people don't understand that it was us that forced him out more than the other way around. But
yeah, everyone still blames
I think he's a coach. I think he's a coach at Liverpool still. You know,
he works with the under 18s.
Yeah, he
part of the club.
When Stevie was the under 18 coach, I think he brought Fowler and McManaman in, didn't he?
Yeah.
Fowler went off to do other things, but I think McManaman still ran the club. Yeah, but he's a terrible commentator. Commentator. Yeah, and Cronkamp, you know, Robbie Fowler is still for me the best finisher I've ever seen.
Everybody says that, even players that played around that time. Even Alan Shearer says it.
I don't know. He only got 26 England caps. I mean, he was at the time where you had Sheringham, Shearer, Andy Cole,
Ian Wright, Les Ferdinand.
And you had so many England. England forwards back then. But Robbie Fowler, again, 18 years old. Remember he made his debut and scored 5.
Stoke away, innit? Stoke away.
Tremendous footballer.
League Cup, I think, was it?
Mark Gonzalez was a disappointment.
I was looking forward for it. Like, I thought like he was going to be the Harry Kewell replacement. Well, what a disappointment.
I mean, you're going to be bringing up names like David Thompson next, aren't you?
David Thompson, man.
Richie Partridge.
Oh, Fowler liked a line or two. Yeah, Fowler had a nightlife.
Oh, I've got a story about Fowler as well.
Is it about his nose and what really happened?
No,
I know that story.
I used to go out in Liverpool when I was a kid, obviously, and I used to go to a club called Fridays, which is next to the Adelphi Hotel, if you've heard of it in Liverpool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the year when Robbie Fowler broke his leg, he was at the Adelphi. He was at Fridays. He was at the club, obviously drinking, and he got into a fight, and he started fighting someone with his crutches in the club. Started fighting with a crutch in the club. It was absolutely hilarious. Like, but that was just Robbie Fowler, wasn't it?
I know about the nose one, but I'm not going to go into it.
Oh yeah.
That was all gangster related, wasn't it? And the old people.
That was crazy though, because he kind of started that off, and it didn't actually do anything. Wearing a plaster on your nose,
no,
it doesn't actually do anything for your breathing.
Well, everyone thought he did it because he couldn't. His septum was crooked, and he was born like that. And that's why he was getting stamina issues. But it weren't the actual reason. If you know, you know.
No, if you look at the Everton celebration, that was probably the reason.
Karl-Heinz Riedler. Now, Karl-Heinz Riedler.
He was a great player when we signed him, by the way.
He was a tremendous player.
He won the Champions League, didn't he? He won the
Champions League with Dortmund and then joined Liverpool.
Yeah.
Right? And Mark Owen tell you, he taught Mark Owen a lot.
That's what he was there for. That's what he was there for.
As a small statured striker. Because Karl-Heinz Riedler in the air was unbelievable.
The spring, man. My goodness
gracious. 5'7", 5'8", but in the air, he looked like he was 6'4". It was tremendous. And Michael Owen used to say you learned so much of Karl-Heinz Riedler in training. And that's what I think, like Fozzie just said, that's why mostly why he was brought in, because
to nurture Owen.
That smaller striker in. Yeah, Karl-Heinz Riedler was a tremendous little player. Yeah, it's funny how Mark Gonzalez balls out for the Legends teams now. He wins everything for us, doesn't he? He's mad. He got better. He's done a salary. He's got better as he's got older.
Nick Barmby,
tremendous
underrated. Nick Barmby.
I'll tell you another player.
That was the midfielder he was looking for. K-Mac in the Europa Cup, UEFA Cup win. Nick Barmby was part of that team. He was looking for
Maxi Rodriguez.
Oh,
yeah, tremendous winger.
I wish he came earlier. But
I don't know why we didn't keep him. I think it's because we weren't performing to a level to keep him properly. But
Do you remember like he scored like was it 3 games in a row, like a hat trick or something like that in each game?
He got a hat trick in. He got 2 hat tricks in 3 games, didn't he? Or
Yeah,
something
like that.
He was a good player, man. He was tremendous. Argentinian international.
He's got his own song.
Yeah, even Albert Riera for that 1 year was all right, you know.
Yeah,
Albert Riera
didn't have any end product, did he?
No,
yeah, it's a bit slow.
For that 12 months, he was not too bad on that left wing until we looked for someone. But I tell you the most disappointing. You know the most disappointing signing Liverpool made in probably my lifetime. I still go to it now. It's probably Harry Kewell.
Yeah, man, I got that.
When
shirt,
we bought
man,
Harry Kewell, I thought, right, that's the missing puzzle. Rafa's got Gerard Houllié's got to go on and win the Premier League. Liverpool now. He's done everything else. He's gone and got Harry Kewell now. That's it. We've got the best left winger in the country, and it just didn't work, did it?
What was it about him anyway? Like, it's just something. It didn't click. Like, he wasn't dribbling like he did that Leeds. I don't know what it was.
Injured.
Something wasn't right.
Got injured a lot.
Injuries are bad, weren't they?
He was unbelievable for Leeds, though. Him and Cantona.
Yeah.
Remember them?
Yeah. Harry Kewell was just what a player, and I just feel like
Titi Kamara as well. Remember him?
Underrated.
Titi Kamara, cult legend, man. Was it 14 goals in his debut season? He was a good little player, man.
Something about Harry Kewell that you don't know. He's married to my cousin.
Oh, there we go.
Wow.
What the bird from
Sherry
Ellendale?
Murphy? Yeah.
Is she your cousin?
Yeah, my cousin.
Didn't know that. What, first cousin?
Yeah, she is actually.
Jesus Christ, Jesus.
I haven't seen her in since I was about 7.
Andy Carroll.
46.
Yeah, Andy Carroll was a weird signing, weren't he? He had that.
Aquilani, someone's wrote.
Aquilani was meant to be the new Stevie G, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's a disappointment. Yeah.
Raul Morales.
Nori Sarin as well. Do you remember him?
Nori Sarin was quality. It's just that Rodgers didn't have a clue what to do.
No.
He's like, I don't play DMs. Why would I have Nuri Sarin? And Klopp was like, I'll have him back then. Thanks. Cheers. Have you ever seen the Klopp interview when he got Sarin back? When he was at Dortmund?
Well, didn't he criticize Real Madrid or something, Jamie?
Well, he criticised Rodgers as well. He's like, how can you not get anything out of this player? What are you doing? And then again, Brendan Rodgers tried to play Bobby Firmino at wing back. So
we all know about that.
Balotelli, another weird Brendan Rodgers signing when he was like,
you get rid of Suarez and you bring in Balotelli and expect the same performance? It doesn't make any sense.
That's the one that annoyed me the most. Mac LFC's wrote Anelka. Like, why did we?
Why did we sign him, man?
Why did we not keep him?
Anelka, man. Anelka and Owen would have.
And he was good at that season. Came back. He was good in that.
When we loaned him, he was fantastic. He didn't get a lot of
goals or something.
He didn't get a lot of goals, but he contributed to the team.
He was a threat. They
were important goals.
Yeah.
Yes.
Liverpool had Nicolas Anelka, guys. And Jerry Houllier watched the World Cup.
And he wanted to play for Liverpool. He wanted to sign for Liverpool.
His stats as well. And the amount of trophies he'd won as well before we got him was mental.
And
quick,
and we got Fowler back as well.
Quick.
Do you remember? We got Fowler back for that season.
Benitez brought him back,
though. He watched the World Cup like we all did and watched El Hadjouf. And I think we was all thinking, well, that El Hadjouf looks a player, man. And then it's like you find out that he decided to let go of Anelka and get Juve. Now, I don't remember the owners coming in for criticism like FSG would now. I'm saying, why couldn't they have got both? Because if that was today, they'd be getting the owner. Everyone on Twitter would be going, well, why can't we have both? Why can't we always have the good stuff? So I don't remember any controversy back then. But
I wouldn't have said Anelka was that expensive either.
No,
I don't think it was.
It was 10 million to buy him.
Yeah. Didn't he go to West Brom or something like that?
Yeah, and we spent the money getting our Juve, who only had 2 goals that whole season. They came against Southampton. Horrible player. Horrible person. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm going to say one thing about Daniel Sturridge right now. If Daniel Sturridge never had injury issues, no one would be talking about Harry Kane as England striker.
Sturridge and Suarez, man, that's a partnership. That is.
Sturridge,
we could do with it now.
Sturridge for me is technically England's best striker, but if it was injuries, just killed him. Injuries killed him, man. Injuries absolutely killed him.
Just like Daniel Agger, isn't it? Really.
Sturridge was a player.
Injuries, and religion.
Yeah,
that's what did Sturridge.
Just
Do you
killed
remember
him.
he
man.
remember he went become a Buddhist or something in America and just buggered off for a year? He's still playing for us.
Fekir, the
Sad.
player we signed but didn't really love. You know, I'm actually glad we didn't buy Fekir now because he
He
ain't
got
really
photos
playing.
in a shirt as well. Have you seen
He
them?
got interviewed on Liverpool
He got
TV.
interviewed and everything.
That video is still around. I think Fekir never became the player everyone thought he was going to be. Though
No,
he never really did it, did he?
that's
He
a
had
good
an,
one,
he had an
Joe Cole.
ACO in it. He had an ACO.
Joe Cole and Robbie Keane, they were disappointing.
Oh yeah.
Should never have
They
bought
were
Joe Cole.
disappointing. And
Joe
Robbie
Cole
Keane.
made it very.
I think we was harsh on Keane. I honestly think
I
we
don't
was
really
harsh
understand
on
the Robbie Keane thing. Why we got rid of him? Like
No, he's
Keane.
great.
We was top of the league as
Bad.
well. We was top of the league at the time as well.
Rafa just didn't like him.
it was
I don't know
weird.
Yeah, something wasn't right.
I mean, that quality goal against Arsenal scored when we
Yeah,
wore
just
for
Yeah,
some
first
reason,
time, bam, yeah.
we wore that away kit where we wore silver top and red shorts and red socks.
Like the candy
Weird, innit?
ones, yeah.
Weird.
And Robbie Keane with that volley. Yeah, Robbie Keane was a quality player, but Rafa didn't rate him. He always substituted him every single game. Just didn't. I don't know why. But Rafa went for a mental state, didn't he? Where he went, "Oh look, Xabi Alonso, best passer in the Premier League, probably in Europe. No, I want Gareth Barry instead."
For God's sake.
What are you doing, Rafa? Why? The Real Madrid came calling. Oh, we're taking for 40 mil.
Yeah, I mean, like, come on.
And then we're going to get Gareth Barry. And then we never got Gareth Barry.
And Rafa, you know what I'll do? I'll play all my strikers on the wing.
Yeah. And you remember when Gareth Barry tried to get the move to Liverpool and he had that article in the News of the World at the time. It was about 4 pages long. And they had like Liverpool wallpaper in a fake room for him and all this sort of stuff. So I've got to join my idols. I've got to join the biggest club. It's my time to shine. And then we didn't even buy him. And we sold Alonso. Who did
Went to Villa.
Who did we get instead?
Aquilani.
Was it Aquilani?
Yeah, the next Alonso, yeah. And he had a bad knee injury.
Yeah,
He was out for like a year.
Yeah, we brought him a broken leg. How did he pass it?
I think we did.
And Markovic, didn't we bought Markovic after that as well, the ex-Benfica player. He was terrible.
I've got to shoot, guys. Right, man. This has been, awesome, man.
We're going to leave it anyway. Yeah, Benny Young, by the way, very underrated.
Very underrated.
Oh, he was fantastic. He went to Chelsea as well, and he was good.
The same as them 2 left foot finishes in the same week against Real Madrid and Man United will always be remembered.
Yeah.
Cool.
Greatest week.
He was like the best left winger that wasn't a left winger.
Right, guys, we're out of here. Guys, so we have got no problem with Konate or Diaz. We think they're wonderful footballers.
None at all.
We just want them to show us a little bit more. That is all. But we think they're wonderful footballers. So big up to everyone in chat. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget to go and subscribe to these guys' channels. Please, please, please. You know they are. Go and subscribe to them.
Came out channel. I'm on the road to 200.
Show them some love. Got any mods in the chat, make sure you put it in the live chat, so in the live replay. Everyone can go and subscribe to their channels. I'd really appreciate it. Guys, we'll be back tomorrow for another show, and then we've got videos all week because it's a busy old time now. So make sure you're here every day. Big up to everyone. Much love. We'll see you all again soon. Bye-bye for now.